NASCAR throws a sports entertainment caution. William Byron wins, and the Fords looked a little bit slow. Let's talk about it. Coming up next. What's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing good today. All right, William Byron gets the win. That is the third different driver in 3 different races so far in the regular season to win and lock themselves into the playoffs, or at least we assume they'll lock themselves into the playoffs, barring 17 different winners. So that would be, Ricky Stenhouse, Kyle Busch, and now William Byron have locked themselves into the playoffs, and it was pretty much a straightforward race. Hendrick dominated this race. Chevrolet, to a lot of people's minds, dominated this race, but to me it was mainly just Hendrick. William Byron definitely had the fastest car. Kyle Larson got out there, led some laps, and it looked like Kyle Larson was going to win until that late caution. We're going to get to that in just a second, but it is interesting to note here that people were saying that Chevrolet dominated this race and Chevrolet has dominated the season. But of course, earlier in the season, in the preseason at least, everybody was saying that the cars are way closer and stuff like that. To me, even teammates had setups that were like way off. Like we saw Josh Berry, he had the same probably setup as the rest of the Hendrick cars. They were miles apart on speed. We saw 2311. I think the raw speed for Ford was there. I wouldn't worry about it too much beyond that. But, we'll see what happens going forward. It looked like last week Toyota was just a little bit off. This week it looked like Ford was a little bit off. And, Chevrolet, luckily so far for Chevrolet, if you're a Chevrolet fan, so far has not been off. I don't know necessarily that they have this thing on lock as far as speed goes. All right, now let's get to that caution that gave William Byron the win. I said it was a sports entertainment caution, and here is why I say that. I don't think they threw that caution to help William Byron. I don't think they threw that caution to hurt Kyle Larson. I think NASCAR threw that caution because it wanted a highlight finish, and NASCAR is known for doing this. And the reason I say that is we saw several cars hit the wall in a similar fashion to what Aric Almirola did there, and Aric Almirola made it to pit road without the assistance of a wrecker, so it is easy to assume that Aric Almirola could have made it to pit road if they had just let this thing run green like they did with several other drivers throughout the race who had done the same thing, hit the wall the same way, and had gone into the pits. So NASCAR threw this competition caution to get an exciting finish for the fans, and I think that is fine. Either way you want to do it, but NASCAR needs to be consistent with their cautions. If you're going to be quick with a caution, throw that caution out quick all the time, because then at the end of the race, NASCAR had a really violent wreck where A.J. Allmendinger took a hit to the door, and NASCAR didn't throw the caution. They waited for them to cross the start-finish line to, once again, sports entertainment, create an exciting finish, hopefully, as they raced to the checkered flag. So NASCAR needs to be consistent one way or the other, because it's very frustrating to have cautions like that come out, and then you have cautions that you wait to see what happens, and then those cautions come out. So they need to get rid of the sports entertainment aspect of it. I know they're trying to embrace it. I know that explains our whole trash playoff system that we got now. If you want a playoff system, we can come up with a better playoff system than that. If you want season-long points, either way, but the current playoff system we got now is trash, as I'm saying that. And it's all because of sports entertainment, right? They're trying to come up with those Game 7 moments. So hopefully they can be more consistent with these cautions, and they just need to get rid of the sports entertainment mentality. All right, let's take a look at who had a good race and who had a bad race. All right, it was a good race, of course, for William Byron. Kyle Larson gets a second-place finish. Alex Bowman third. That is a 1-2-3 for Hendrick, and that is 3 Chevrolet wins to start the season. If they get the 4th, it'll be the first time, I think, since 1992 when Ford started off the season with 4 in a row for a manufacturer. Bubba Wallace leading the way for the Toyotas with a 4th-place finish. Christopher Bell finishes 5th. They had some words afterward. Not sure what that was all about. Austin Cindric out of nowhere. That guy was nowhere all day, but he carried the flag for Ford there at the end with a 6th-place finish. Martin Truex was 7th. Justin Haley with an 8th-place finish for Colleague. Kevin Harvick 9th. He was up there all day, but didn't have speed, and he in fact said it's a bad day to be driving a Ford. Daniel Suarez finishes 10th. Denny Hamlin 11th. Ross Chastain 12th. Ryan Blaney 13th. And Kyle Busch bringing it home in 14th position. All right, now let's go to bad race. It was a bad race for Austin Dillon. He was never up there. We're used to an Austin coming out of nowhere and finishing in the top 10 or top 15. Today, that was Austin Cindric, not Austin Dillon, because he had a terrible run. Noah Gragson finishes 30th. He never could get anything going. He sped on pit road at least 3 times, so super bad day for him. Josh Berry, super sub, filling in for Chase Elliott there. I did not have a great day. He had some type of throttle issue. His throttle was hanging or something like that. So hopefully next week, if they go with him, the rumor is that they are going to go with him for next week. He's at least the driver listed on the portal for next week. He also had a bad race. And Ty Dillon's terrible, super bad, ugly season continues with a 34th place finish. He wasn't dead last this week. And Joey Logano spins the car out and breaks the toe link because he caught a little bit of air, and that ended his day. These toothpick parts underneath these massive tanks of cars that NASCAR has built has cost Joey Logano because apparently he broke a suspension component during a spin out. So he finishes dead last, takes him from second in points to further down the list. Speaking of points, let's look at that real quick. And with that shakeup in the points, Ross Chastain continues to be your leader with 129. Alex Bowman is now second at 126, 3 points behind. Kevin Harvick third. Daniel Suarez fourth. Martin Truex Jr. is fifth. Denny Hamlin sixth. Christopher Bell is seventh. Kyle Busch and Joey Logano tied for 92 points apiece. At 8th, 10th place is Chris Buescher, 11th Brad Keselowski, 12th Ricky Stenhouse Jr., 13th Byron and Larson are tied. 15th is Ryan Blaney, and tied for 16th, the last transfer spot if the season ended today, is Bubba Wallace and Austin Cindric with a nice 69 points apiece. At the bottom here, of note, Tyler Reddick has now tied Travis Pastrana in 33rd with 26 points. All right, that is all I got for you on this one. If you got a comment or anything like that, leave it down in the comment section. I'll try to get to as many of them as I can. If you made it this far, feel free to subscribe down below. It really helps out the channel. I really appreciate them a lot. If you're already subscribed, you know I appreciate you guys as well. And other than that, thanks for your time. Peace. Happy Monday, everybody.